Hello and welcome to Budget Model Railways. So an update on my Engage exhibition layout. Quite a bit of progress, as you can see, and the reason why there has to be quite a bit of progress is we're now down to about 2 weeks. My cunning plan to build a whole new layout was good, except we then took on quite a large renovation DIY job at home, which is taking a lot of time. So I've been having to squeeze this in. But it is also a good demonstration of how I do my model railways, which is it's surprising what you can make if you have a half hour. You just stop, cut a few bits, glue a few bits, and so on. And I'm hoping that I'll get about a day at some point where I can finish off a lot of it. Because though there's a lot done, there's quite a lot of fiddly stuff still to do. But let's talk you through some of what I've been making. So down here we have the industrial area. So a lot of these buildings you'll have seen on previous layouts, and basically I've repurposed them. So they're all various sort of Kidbury, Fowler, Polar, Gauge Master. So this is going to be the factory area. That's the office for the factory. You can see that I've finished all the retaining walls, just made out of mounting card, emulsion, black wash, dry brush, and it's looking quite effective. Up on the top there, big hello to Mark in the US, who very kindly sent us a big box of things, including this rather nice garage. So that's going to go in there. You can also see on the walls here, if I try and zoom in, I've made some advertising boards and they're scattered around the layout. And I've got some more. And Doug laser cut them for me as frames, and then we printed off posters and stuck them on. So that's that. This corner is going to be a bit of a building site. I've got some scaffolding for this house, a couple of porter cabins, some building materials. So that's going to be done then as a bit of a building area. You'll also see I've got my catenary masts up. Got some nice double ones there very cheaply from Kato through Train Tracks. That's tracks with an X on the end, Train Tracks. If you're into your Kato end, which obviously I am, they're a really good online supplier. Well worth having a look at. And you've got the little Kato steeple loco running around there, which is really what this layout is designed for. Now I've also ballasted the edges of the track. So that just used some cheap ballast I found, which matches not too bad, so it makes a bit of a neater track bed, blends it all in. Now what I did find, if I pan slowly up the other end, quite a lot to talk about this week, so hopefully you'll stay with us. Down there I've got, this is roofing felt on the edges. I'll move that jar out of the way. And I found it's a really close match for the ballast, so it gives me a good look. And so at this end now, we've got a bit of an industrial yard going on. So we've got the sort of grain silo with the loading area. We've got a warehouse at the end. Little container area there with the vehicle. This area, in fact, the station area gave me some problems. And I've spent about 2 or 3 days tinkering with it, looking at various station buildings and trying to come up with it. And then this morning, just looking at it, went to find a bus because I had an idea that this could be a bus area, and I found the little yellow vehicle there for shipping containers, and I just thought I've got to have that on there. Where can I make a space? This was originally there, and by moving it along I get a container area, and suddenly that whole area flows. And that's what I find when you're doing the freelance. It's a bit of a challenge because it's not like doing a UK layout. I have a good shed here, I have a station here, I have a signal box there, job done. Where things go here is open, if you like, to debate and discussion. But it means you've got to be a bit more creative. I've no idea where that building came from. I bought it second-hand on eBay and gave it a paint, and it looks just fantastic there as a little station building. So this area now, quite pleased with. I think I probably showed you on the last video, but the substation there, and the water tower, giving it a really good industrial look. The top level, where the tram's going to go up and down, obviously needs a bit more work, but that's not going to be complicated. It's mostly just filling in the platform and the tarmac. The road material here is, Doug got it online from China. It's a self-adhesive roadway. It's really good stuff. So it's got like a gritty finish on it. I'm going to do some road markings with white labels. This is just Metcalf, hang on, I'll just move the camera. So this is Metcalf tarmac sheets, the self-adhesive. The top of the platforms there is black sandpaper, which looks really effective as asphalt. And then I've got roofing felt as well. So I'm using all sorts of materials here to generate the look I want. And I'm pretty pleased with the look. I pan out a bit. And I like the fact there's no trees. It's a completely urban setting and it will be very different for an exhibition. It's going to have the 2 lanes running, plus the shuttle at the top. So lots going on. I can even shunt a little bit if I want. And then it's also going to be a great little layout to sit here on my desk in my little study area if I don't want to get out in the shed like the other night when it was hacking down. I did also have a good little find the other day. I wanted a box for my wagons to take to the exhibition. And there was a really nice one on YouTube, eBay, but it ended up going for £30. But I found this box at my local amenity tip shop. Cost me £1, needs a bit of a clean up. But inside, I have all my wagons. And all I've done is I've put some foam in the insulation at the bottom, bubble wrap on the top, made the dividers out of cardboard, and I've got 24 long wheelbase 15-foot wagons and 6 10-foot wagons. I mean, look at that. It's tailor-made, almost to the millimetre. If I'd made a box, that's the size I would have made it. So that's going to be fantastic to get them to and from the exhibition, because I can even turn them upside down. And when I open it up again, they'll all still be in there, not damaged. So for £1, I'm just a little bit pleased with that. Budget Model Railways at its best. So there we go. Quite a lot of progress, which there needs to be. And there will need to be a big push in the next 2 weeks to finish the top area and a lot of the detail. I've got people to add and all sorts of things. Because obviously, as you look at this, it's not finished. It needs a lot more work. I did get quite lucky at the edge here. I was going to ballast it, which would have got messy. And as I say, the roofing felt turns out to be a very close match to the loose ballast. So that gives me a nice neat edge for that. But I'm very pleased. The catenary works well. These Doug 3D printed for me. Designed and 3D printed. Couple of pieces stuck together. And that's going to look good for the station. So, getting quite excited about this now. I think this will be really good at something. Something is the 13th of May. If anybody knows the area. Doug's going to be there, hopefully. Rail strike's going to cause us a problem, actually. But hopefully we can get him there with a 3D printer and a laser cutter to demonstrate, and the layout. So it'll be the only opportunity at the moment to see Budget Model Railways this year. It's the only exhibition invite we've had. Although if anybody else out there would like to invite us, we're always open for invites if we're free. So there we go. I know a lot of people like the 00 that we do, but I wanted to do something different for the exhibition, and the Kato N is such a budget way of doing it with the locos. The building's cheap second hand and everything. And this is only 4 foot by just over 1.5 foot. So it does demonstrate the advantages of N. So there we go. Thank you for watching. Looking forward to seeing some of you at something. And I'll try and get another update done at the end of the week.